Good morning and happy Friday. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. I'm your host Chump Change. This is live and recorded. What we typically do for anybody that might be new here is go over crypto news in the space or news in general. I update myself, bring you guys along for the ride. Let's see who's here in the chat, and then we will go from there. Mr. Max Voltage in the house. Appreciate you, buddy. Trade like snipe. What's up, dude? Nismo Miner. We have Vinny. Good morning, sir. Trade Wind Bees. Good to see you. Lawnmower Man. I need some tips on weed whacking my fence. Just saying. It drives me nuts. The little corners next to the poles. How do you get that little corner though, going in there with like scissors? Please educate me, because I saw you comment on one of my videos. Dan R, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man. We have Crypto Craig in the house. Good to see you. Backwards Miner, Magic Lucky. Let's see who else. Nismo Miner, Nick K, my man Andrew Masad. Appreciate you all. Everybody else I may have missed, I apologize. Let's get into this. All right, Bitcoin $67,218. We got Ethereum at 35.21. Look at that. Solana 148 bucks. LTC at 80 or 79.70. Not too bad. We have Caspa at 16 cents, 16 and a half, just over that. ETC's actually still been holding itself down a bit. $25, 25 and a half. Let's see. Uniswap is up today, 8.17% to $10.80. Looks pretty good. Meme coins kind of just chugging along. Nothing really jumping out at me. Everything's kind of just blah, I guess. Everything's uncertain, right? ADA is at 42 cents, man. ADA I think is a steal right now. XRP 47 cents. All right, let's see. Mr. Peak of all trades. Good morning, sir. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. All right, let's check out Crypto Bubbles, see what the biggest winner of the day is. Looks like it's not coin. Look at this. It's not a coin. 19.1% up on the day, 2 cents. It is broken into the 2-cent range. Look at that. Top 50, or it's in the 50th place. Top 100 coins. So we have Toncoin up 7.7% to $8.13. Again, Uniswap up 7.9 over here to $10.80. Arweave down 13.3% to $30.45 if anybody's holding that. We have a Cash Network over here down up 6.6% to $3.57. Stacks down 11.9% to $2.06. Renders down 5.3. Damn. Bruh. Come on, man. $8.30. Could be worse, I guess. Caspa having a little bit of a, I guess, not even pull back, just kind of floating sideways. Down 2.1%. Like I said, 16 and a half cents just about. Let's see. Dog with Hats down 3%. We have Pepe down 3%. Fetch AI is down 5%. Crazy. It is Friday. People are selling everything. Go enjoy the weekend. Let's see. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to at me in the chat. Crypto for Seniors. Good morning, sir. All right. Flashbang. Fear and Greed Index 74 over here on the chart. Wow. It's getting close to 75. You guys know over 75. That's when I really worry about it. And, you know, decide if I should sell certain coins or not. Again, this is really neutral to me. I really don't see anything going too crazy. All right, let's just refresh this, see what the trending coins are. Look at this beer coin. Shout out to Red Panda, another losing, another loser. 5.8% down on the day. Perfect. Just kidding. Meme coins, man, they're killing it. In the opposite direction today. MAGA down 6%. Notcoin is up 19.6. What is Notcoin, by the way? Does anybody know? What is this? What is this? Does anybody know? Because I really have no idea. It just looks like the Toncoin logo, doesn't it? It just reversed. I don't know what it is. Not is a token on Ton. All right. Well, thanks. Thanks for the obvious. All right, I'm just kidding. Anyways, looking at the top 10 coins over here on CoinGecko by CoinMarketCap. Let's see. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, Solana, Lado Staked, Ether, USDC, XRP, Dogecoin, and Toncoin in 10th place. Toncoin has been on a tear lately. It is almost at a $20 billion market cap. Cardano has been left in the dust as of right now in 11th place, almost $5 billion under. That's crazy. $15 billion market cap to a 19.7. That's insane. Shiba still holding good in 12th place. Kind of crazy. Let's see. you guys have any questions, just add me in the chat again. All right, I'm gonna scroll down through this. Let's see. Litecoin is in 21st place still, and Near Protocol is still in 20th. Ooh, look at that. Near's down a little bit today. Is that a good buy? Man, I think I might DCA into some Near. I think Near is gonna do very well. I really do. Interesting. It's under $6, so it's kind of a steal. Caspa still holding 29th place. Look at that, at a $3.9 billion market cap. Ethereum Classic's just behind it. About $2 billion. I lied. What am I saying? $200 million less. Crazy. Renders in 35th place over here. What do they got actually? A $3.2 billion market cap. Not too bad. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got for you. All right, moving on to the mining segment of things. Let's see what we're looking like today. You guys know I like to timestamp this stuff. We got the Bitmain Antminer KS5 Pro 21 terahash unit. Top of the charts. $88.15 per day. This is after 10 cents per kilowatt hour. That's what you're paying on your electric bill, and this is what you're yielding take home. The KS5 20 terahash unit is making $83.96 a day. KS5M 15 terahash unit is making $60.21. KS5L 12 terahash unit is making $46.53. Oh, by the way, isn't there a huge sale going on with Ice River? Like, I saw a bunch of open mouth thumbnails. People are all like talking about it. Is it like a big deal? Are they really like slashing prices like crazy? I guess I could just go to it. Is it iceriver.com or is it IO? I forget. I think it's IO. Am I wrong? No, I think it's IO. Yeah, it's the right site, right? Oh boy. Where hold on. I'm gonna go back to that page. Was that it? Shipping date. Are these the oh, come on. I just want to pause that. How do you pause this thing from moving? Can I stop it? Are these the new prices? Is this what we're looking at here? These the new prices? Or am I wrong? Let me know. I'm pretty sure they dropped like a whole bunch of random prices on this stuff. Looking at the wrong prices. All right, Crypto KJ, send me the link. Isn't there a Twitter post or something? I'm not logged into Twitter on this Brave browser, so let me know. Anyways, let's move on to the Dragon Ball Miner KS6 11 terahash unit. $39.70 a day, same as the Ivy Link BMKS Max. We have the Windminer K9 10.3 terahash unit making $39.03 a day. The Aletheum Gold Shell AL box right here, 360 gigahashes at 180 watts, making $36.29 a day. How's Aletheum doing actually? Let's just see. Thank you, Crypto KJ. I'll open that in 1 second. Oh god, why when I hit enter it just goes to whatever it wants to go to? All right, $1.74. Looks like it's been on a downwards trend the last 24 hours, but it could be worse. Can always be worse. All right, let me see. Thank you, Crypto KJ. Sorry, a bunch of people making a big deal about it. KS5L, $4,799. KS5L. What are we getting a day right there? $46 a day. I mean, that's not bad, I guess. KS5M 7,499. KS5M, is that this one? Yeah. $60 a day, almost $8 grand. What are they actually going for though? Like, hold on, let me see. Shop, let's see. KS5M. Oh, all right, yeah. So the prices are updated here, right? Seems to be, anyways. Let's see. Yeah, they seem to be updated here. So those are them. Interesting. Ice River first anniversary special event. That's what this is. Huh. Neat. Actually, I'll retweet that. If you guys want, I think it's code, is it code CHUMP? I think gets you something off Ice River. I honestly forget, but feel free to use it if you want. If not, Greater Good Mining's got one. I think all the guys got one, to be honest. So feel free to support everybody. Definitely appreciate everybody that does that. All right, let's see. We have the Ice River KS3 8 terahash unit, $28.78 a day. We get the KS3M 6 terahash unit at $19.19. Are these still selling these units, by the way? Does anybody know? These two units still being sold? Actually, are they? Let's see. KS3M sold out. I don't know if they're gonna be making these much longer, to be honest. Let me see. Oh, you know what? No, it's the KS2 I'm thinking of. The KS2 and the KS1 they definitely stopped making, but I wonder when they're gonna stop making these ones also. It'd be very interesting to know. All right, let's move on. Bitmain Antminer L7. I have the 9050 Donatera hosting. Shout out to them, paying under 10 cents kilowatt hour, which is awesome. This thing is still yielding me $10.53 per day merge mining Litecoin and Doge. 85% of it or so is more on the Doge side, but I get a decent amount of Litecoin too, which is awesome. The Ice River KS2, again, 2 terahash unit making $6.24. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they discontinued this one, and the Ice River KS1, which makes $3.12 a day. They're definitely not worth buying, to be honest. Not those two. That's my opinion. The KS0 Ultra, this thing, if you guys were gonna get like anything, like this is kind of a decent deal, I guess, for like the wattage, and it's really not that expensive, and you could like literally just stack these and make your own KS1. Much cheaper, in my opinion, but you guys do what you want. Anyways, again, that'll make you $1.58 a day at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. Let's see, the what's the X16Q? If you guys miner X16Q, still mining ETC and ZIL on the top of the charts over here, $3.09. And real quick, just before I forget, my phone is on loud because I'm waiting for FedEx to call to deliver a package. So if my phone rings and I have to mute, I apologize. I'm just gonna let you guys know. So I just keep seeing the screen go off, so I'm like trying to make sure I don't miss it. Hopefully my solar stuff's coming today. That would be nice. All right, where is my S19K? Where is that? Right here. Bitmain S19K Pro. Look at that, 120 terahash unit. I'm making 22 cents a day. It's only gonna take me 198 and a half months to pay myself back. It's all right. It's all right. We'll get there. Come on, Bitcoin. You can do it. I believe in you. All right, let's move on to GPUs. Let's see what we got. Most profitable coin on GPUs today is Gram. Look at that. Across the board for the 40 series cards. Ironfish and Whosat over there. Let's see. Ironfish and Gram. Xano on the 7900 XT. Not too bad. Zealous on the 3080 12 gigabyte and the 3080 Ti. Interesting. Conflux in Whosat as well. We got the 6800 XT on AITT. Interesting. Yeah, so that's pretty much the consensus across the board. Looking at like honestly, Zealous is probably the one I would mine on everything because it's pretty close to profitable on most cards. But yeah, I guess you can go for Gram if you want that. Actually, where can you mine Gram to? Hero, what the hell? The AMD BC160 Hero. Interesting. That's odd. That's an oddball. Where can you mine Gram to? Does anybody know? What's up, Keen? Good to see you, buddy. Only 16 years today. What are you saying? What does that mean? Only 16 years today. What does that even mean? I'm so confused. Crypto KJ, what are you saying? Why are you tagging me? What are you saying here, weirdo? All right. Oh god, mouse just went nuts. All right, let's see. CPUs over here. Looks like XMR and Zephyr. Top of the charts. A nice hash of Varus hash. What? On the AMD EPYC 7713. Interesting. Oh, to pay off my S19K 16 years. Oh yeah, I was like one of those weird moms that like, you know, you're like, how old's your kid? And they're like 736 months. And you're like, what? Just tell me the years. Why'd you have to say months? Yeah, I know. I don't know why they say months. It should say years here. All right, thank you. You confused the shit out of me. I got you. All right, moving on. Let's see. New coins. We have any new coins today? I don't think so. Regis, top of the charts. Such a weird name. Kapow. Still nothing. Shit. What's the Smarty coin? What is Smarty coin? Why do I not remember seeing this one? Is this one new? If you guys go off this site, please do it at your own risk. My computer should be safe, so it should be good. Smarties, look at that. About Smarties coins is a digital currency that enables instant payments to anyone anywhere in the world, just like any other crypto. Perfect. Smarty coin uses peer-to-peer technology to operate with no central authority. Wow. Managing transactions and issuing money are carried out collectively by the network. Smarty Coin Core is the name of the open source software which enables the use of this currency. Masternodes are now available. What? Great candy. Thanks for most generic front of the website I've ever seen in my life. All right, it's 10 hours from now. Gold Cash going through the halving, or upcoming events rather. They're going through their halving in 10 hours. 0.25 block reward to 0.125. We have CAU Hydro Fork, or Hard Fork. Guess just a fancy name for it. 9 days from now. And then this fake Pepe coin, 14 days, and nothing else happening for the next 3 months. Interesting. All right, moving on to the news. Let's get into this. Going to be going over some Tesla stuff, bunch of crypto stuff, and everything else. Elon Musk, unsupervised autonomous driving. Guys, this could be absolutely insane. Actually, they're talking about like renting out your Tesla, kind of like an Airbnb style, which is kind of crazy. Let's get into this, guys. Hit that like button. Appreciate you all for hanging out. Let's do it.
Welcome back to Fast Money. Let's get straight to Phil LeBeau, who's got some more details from Elon Musk's comments after the shareholder vote. Phil.
He's in vintage Elon mode, Melissa, which means that he's riffing, he's enjoying himself, and why not? His pay package has been approved by shareholders. Now, whether or not he actually gets the pay package, completely separate question, but a couple of subjects that he touched on that'll be interesting for investors and why we're relaying these. One of them involves robotaxi, and we know that they're going to unveil their vision of robotaxi on August 8th, but Elon said today that the unsupervised autonomous driving technology is accelerating very quickly. And he says, if you just follow the curve, it's natural to see where it is headed. He also envisions a day where if you were a Tesla owner and you decide that you were going to put your vehicle into the robotaxi fleet, he says it'll be like an Airbnb. You want to do it for a day, 2 days, a few hours, whatever it is.
How crazy is that?
You can do that. And he says the revenue that Tesla owners will get from making their vehicles part of the robotaxi fleet will far exceed the monthly payment for a Tesla.
How crazy is that? I ain't gonna lie, if that happens, I would absolutely look into doing that. Because why not? Why not? If like literally you could just have these cars that are essentially your slaves, just do work for you every day. Why the hell not? Why not? I don't give a shit what they do in my car. I'll be insurance on it. Enjoy, have at it. And the thing's gonna drive itself anyways. Who gives a shit?
And then there's the Optimus robot that they are also working on. He believes that that market, the humanoid robot market, will ultimately be 1 billion of those being built a year, worldwide, not just by Tesla, but worldwide. And
wait. What did he just say?
He believes that market, the humanoid robot market, will ultimately be 1 billion of those being built a year.
A billion?
Worldwide, not just by Tesla, but worldwide. And
a billion humanoid robots? What? My God. What's that movie with Will Smith? What's that movie? Is it AI? Yeah, is it AI robot or something? iRobot? Is that what it's called? iRobot? I don't remember. Is it iRobot? Yeah, all right, that's it. We're gonna have that like IRL. What in the hell?
Tesla could have 10% of that market.
Oh, no.
How much would it cost? He said off the top of his head, a humanoid robot, Optimus, could cost maybe $10,000 for them to build. And he says, we'd probably sell it for $20,000. We'd make $1 billion. So those are just a few of the comments from Elon Musk. Granted, these are all him on.
Would you guys buy a robot for 20 grand? I don't know, man. I don't know. That'd be kind of, I don't know. That's real hairy.
Stage, no formal presentation where he's outlining costs, profits, etc. But it is vintage Elon, as you would expect at a meeting like this.
I love it. That's when crazy. He prognosticates based on basically nothing. I mean, we don't know what a monthly payment would be for a Tesla owner. We don't know how much
Correct.
One would make. We don't know how much rides would cost, and yet it is enough or will be enough to offset the monthly payment. Same thing with the robot. We don't know if there's a market for $20,000 robot, especially when we don't know what the robot can do. But those are just minor questions. No big deal, right?
Yeah, one other thing, Melissa, one other note that is something tangible that he did just say. They are shipping 1,300 Cybertrucks a week. That is the new.
Holy shit.
They've just hit that. That's their weekly record. 13.
Dude, by the way, if you guys didn't see Terra's Cybertruck, it's actually sick. It got wrapped. It's really cool. I don't know if I have the picture, but I'll try to find it in a few minutes. But yeah, that's crazy. Like the Cybertrucks, do you guys like those? For one, I would honestly love to have one, but I wish that they put solar panels. The whole truck is like the whole back of it's like a damn roof. Like, why wouldn't you make that a solar panel so it could charge itself? If you could do that, man, I'd be all in. I'd be all in.
1,300 per week. So what? Extrapolate that over 52 weeks. You're not going to get 1,300 every single week, but something like that.
Right.
You can see that they're probably up there in that 70,000 annual run rate in terms of shipments.
Oh yeah, the thing's huge. The Cybertrucks are giant, and they're friggin' like half bulletproof, which is crazy. All right, let's move on. Some more CNBC news over here.
He's talking about just the momentum trade, big tech. Of course, Apple's part of all that. When you look at the charts and the technicals, do you see that having more room to run, or are we getting frothy, foamy, whichever word you want to use for it?
Well, I would say more room to run from an intermediate and long.
Real quick before we get off the Cybertruck thing, look at this. Look at that. Look at how sick that is. Shout out to Terra Hosting. This is Crypto Franks, and they just got it wrapped. This thing is insane. This thing is freaking insane. You gotta see that at Mining Disrupt. That's nuts. Absolutely love it. Sorry if I wasn't supposed to show that, but I did.
Long-term perspective, we do have breakouts in both the S&P 500 and also NASDAQ 100, but that's not to minimize the counter trend indications that we do also have at the same time, specifically for the NASDAQ 100. And this is a pretty new development. We have some counter trend signals that are really across
Oh, Hawk tweeted it. All right, good.
time frame. So daily, weekly, monthly bar charts have these signals. And it just tells us that the very steady uptrend that we were accustomed to off of the October low from last year is probably not going to repeat itself, that we're in store for something that is dotted by more corrective phases and perhaps is a little bit more difficult to navigate. And that would then also suggest that perhaps that big large cap tech trade is going to falter here, at least in relative terms.
Okay, falter in relative terms. I want to bounce something off of you. Fundstrat out with a note, kind of looking at some of this narrowness in the market that has some people concerned. Mark Newton out with a note saying in part, a falling U.S. dollar and yield scenario generally should be supportive for risk assets into the fall. However, given that more than half of the S&P's major 11 sectors have been lower over the last 3 months, technology domination has camouflaged the market from the skittishness being seen in many sectors. We were just showing a chart earlier, looking at some of those cyclical sectors moving quite a bit lower over the last 3 months. What do you make of this? What do you make of the narrowness of this rally, and what do you think that means?
Well, I can't argue with Mark. He's a great technician, and he's right in that it has masked the breadth behind the market deteriorating. Now, it really is more of a short-term phenomenon if you look at something like the cumulative advanced decline line. And a market that lacks breadth is just, it's a harder rally to sustain indefinitely, right? We've actually seen very strong gains of late from the likes of Apple, for one, and that's really contributed to the up move most recently. And it is reminiscent of times last year when we had this kind of narrow leadership. It is something that tells us that we should probably be patient when thinking about adding exposure, because as soon as we see a little downtick in Apple and NVIDIA, my guess is that would be a bit of a hit on market sentiment and get the market to a place where it's a little bit more oversold, perhaps not fully oversold, but something closer to it.
I want to interject, Katie. You're speaking about market sentiment. I want to talk about Europe very briefly. We have futures at session lows here. Also, we're seeing Europe take a sharp turn lower. In fact, the CAC has turned negative year to date. What do you make of the action that we've seen in Europe since those parliamentary elections?
It's a very different chart, the CAC 40 versus the S&P 500. And I actually think the corrective phase there looks like it could be maturing. It seems a bit overdone to me in the short term on the downside. And we've also seen from Europe some interesting indications from the relative strength ratios versus US. The broader benchmarks like the Eurostoxx 50, for one, have seen really turnarounds in those ratios. That suggests at least we'll get more inline performance for the balance of the year from Europe.
Interesting. Yeah, what do you guys think, though, seriously, about that whole Cybertruck thing? Like, if they put solar panels on it, how sick would that be? It could just charge itself. The one thing I really hate about it is the stupid windshield wiper. It is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Like, why? Why did they make one, like, the thing is literally, like, 4 feet long. Why? I don't understand that. But other than that, I love this truck. I do. It's sick. All right, moving on. Coinbase. Let's listen to a little bit of Brian Armstrong being interviewed. Let's do it.
Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much. And Brian, it's great to be here. We're at Lower Manhattan. This is very much a Wall Street crowd, I would say. There's a lot of suits here. You're wearing a suit yourself. I do want to start with kind of the temperature from financial institutions. What are you hearing in terms of the demand and the acceptance of crypto from this crowd?
Yeah, well, we're here at the State of Crypto Summit, the second one that Coinbase has hosted, and the vibe is it's good here. I mean, 56% of the Fortune 500 are now doing something on-chain when we go and survey executives from those companies. So the biggest companies in the world, whether it's, BlackRock tokenizing real-world assets. JP Morgan is doing things on-chain with Onyx. Google Cloud is accepting crypto payments. Fintechs like Stripe and PayPal are doing things with stablecoins. So I think crypto is here to stay, and the biggest companies in the world are all integrating it.
Really interesting. What has the demand been beyond Bitcoin? It seems like there's this general acceptance that Bitcoin's the oldest, it might be the most stable. Do you think there's demand for the other maybe $1 trillion worth of crypto assets out there, or is it still a bit of a reputational risk? What are you seeing beyond Bitcoin?
Yeah, well, the Bitcoin ETFs got approved, and of course, Bitcoin is the original crypto asset. So I think it's going to be a key constituent for a long time. It's digital gold, and it's an important part of the crypto ecosystem. But crypto has also become many different things. So we also have stablecoins now, which are helping with medium of exchange. We have, Ethereum is allowing people to build lots of new different applications on-chain with content creators and decentralized social. So Coinbase supports a couple hundred different assets on our platform. I think there's going to be a couple chains that are really popular and probably millions of different tokens.
I was going to ask you about Base and the ability to scale Ethereum. Let's get your take on that, but also Ethereum ETFs, what kind of demand you're hearing if and when those get approved officially?
Yeah, well, Base is an Ethereum layer 2, like you said, which is, it's helping blockchains scale. So the original blockchains that came out, they were a computer science breakthrough, but they were a little bit slow, a little bit expensive. Layer 2 has changed that. There's a real scaling story now, and it's kind of like when the internet went from dial-up to broadband. Now, the Ethereum getting approved as an ETF is another important step there, and we've started to see really massive inflows. What's amazing is that, Kathy Wood was saying this on a stage earlier, even with the great inflows we've seen today, the major sources that could be there in the future haven't even turned on yet. Morgan Stanley and UBS, those crypto ETFs haven't been integrated yet. So I think the future is bright on that dimension, and Bitcoin miners are only putting out a small amount of supply, and so the demand is exceeding supply.
Brian, you spent a lot of time in Washington, D.C. You were saying you just spent a lot of time with senators down there. There's been some headlines this week about former President Trump embracing crypto and really coming out as more pro-crypto. What's your take on that? Would a Trump presidency be better for Coinbase and for the industry?
I think voters need to make up their own mind on that, but they need to get educated on the crypto position of the different candidates. One way we've tried to help that happen is with standwithcrypto.org. It's a C4 where over 1.1 million voters have now actually raised their hand and said, we want to elect pro-crypto candidates. So I think DC is waking up to the fact that this is a bipartisan issue, and voters really care about it. Some of the early candidates in Super Tuesday elections and things that were anti-crypto lost elections because of it. It's politically a bad idea. It's just bad politics to be anti-crypto. The voters want this to be here and to be built in America with clear rules. It's kind of why Congress needs to pass legislation.
So you're not endorsing a presidential candidate?
Not at this time, no.
Kathy Wood did ask you about becoming sort of the go-to winner-takes-all financial app. You said something along the lines of you want to be the go-to app and sort of banking app for customers. That would peg you against, a Square, a PayPal. What types of products would you add in the banking space, and would you ever, get into stock trading, for example? Robinhood sort of moved more into crypto. Do you see yourself becoming maybe more of a Robinhood, maybe more of a PayPal equivalent?
Well, so in the banking world, they do something called fractional reserve, and it has its own regulatory requirements for that. We are not intending to become a bank, but we are intending to become people's primary financial account. And so, the digitization of money and having mobile money on your phone, your phone is your bank account in the future, right? I mean, there's going to be a whole generation of kids who grow up, and they're not going to have a bank branch on the corner with a checkbook in the way that maybe you and I did growing up. Their phone is going to be their wallet. That's how they get paid. It's how they live their lives and borrow money when they need to. So that's the opportunity for Coinbase. And we have the beginnings of that with Coinbase Card, for instance, which lets you spend. We have USD Coin, if you want to hold US dollar balances.
That's one thing I don't understand, that Coinbase Card.
And in the future, you could imagine us adding other features like the ability to send a wire transfer or bank transfer, and then it could really be your primary financial account.
Yeah, it sounds like the bank of the future. Brian, we'll have to leave it there. Appreciate your time.
I didn't want to keep talking about it while they were still going, but that Coinbase Card, like, what, you swipe it and they just take the money out of your balance? Like, how does that work? I know Geek of All Trades uses it. I don't know if anybody else uses it, but like, do they just sell whatever crypto you got in your portfolio however they want to sell it? Like, that's kind of shitty, right? It's just like a credit card. You just need to hold. Oh, so you have to hold USDC. Oh, okay. That makes way more sense. Yeah, that makes way more sense. I don't know why I was thinking they just like sell your whatever is in there. Like if you have Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever, they just sell it. You can choose what crypto. All right, neat. You have to top it up. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look into that. All right, spot ETH ETFs should be fully approved over the summer. SEC Chair Gary Gensler says. Ooh, I didn't get to see this at all. Let's get into this. See what they got to say over here, guys. That like button. Appreciate you for hanging out
today.
And hey, I apologize if I have to run because my dog. I'm gonna have to put my dog down today. It's freaking awful. But she was like, my wife came down and she like fell outside or something, so I might have to run upstairs for a minute.
Hey, we're on the ground at the State of Crypto Summit in New York City. Also, Terraform Labs and Do Kwon reach a multi-billion-dollar civil settlement with the SEC. And Grayscale's managing director of research weighs in on what the Fed's decision to hold rates steady means for crypto.
I will be right back.
Welcome to CNBC's Crypto World. I'm Tanea McKeel at the Coinbase State of Crypto Summit in Lower Manhattan. We'll have more from this conference in just a bit, but first, let's take a look at the markets. Crypto prices are in the red this morning after the Federal Reserve kept its key interest rate unchanged and signaled that just one cut is expected before the end of the year. As of noon Eastern, Bitcoin dropped nearly 5% to the $66,000 level. Ether also fell about 5%, dropping to the $3,400 level, and Solana sank more than 7.5% to around $147. Taking a look at some crypto-focused stocks, MicroStrategy is down 6% as of around noon after the company proposed a private offering of $500 million of convertible senior notes. It said it plans to use the net proceeds from the sale to acquire more Bitcoin as well as for general corporate purposes. This is a routine part of MicroStrategy's aggressive Bitcoin buying strategy that it's employed since 2020. Now back here at the conference, regulation, politics, and of course ETFs are some of the topics in focus, as well as what's next for institutional investors. We've been covering the response by financial advisors to the Bitcoin ETFs since their launch in January. Samara Cohen, BlackRock's chief investment officer of ETFs and index investments, was on stage today. She said advisors are still wary, but that's okay. She said they're having a moment of learning, doing due diligence on how this young asset fits into a portfolio, that that's an advisor's job, and that the journey we're on right now is, quote, exactly the one we're supposed to be on. She also talked about ETFs being a bridge between crypto and traditional finance, and in that same theme, the evolution of tokenized funds. Executives from Coinbase are here, of course, as well as Franklin Templeton, PayPal, and Google. Just moments ago, we heard from both Coinbase CEO Brian Armstrong and ARK Invest CEO Cathie Wood. We're going to hear about crypto on Capitol Hill, the future of stablecoins, and mainstream use cases. You can check out CNBC.com for more of our reporting on this event in the coming days. Now this afternoon, CNBC's Kate Rooney sat down with Matt Hogan, Bitwise Asset Management's chief investment officer, at this conference. He weighed in on sentiment at the event from Wall Street.
I think they're increasingly engaged. This is the era where crypto goes mainstream. You can see that in the approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs. You can see that in firms like BlackRock entering the space. People like the state of Wisconsin allocating $100 million to Bitcoin ETFs. So it's warming. They're not all the way there. They're still finishing their due diligence. I think we'll see an acceleration of ETF flows in the second half of the year as they complete that. But you can see by the crowd here, I mean, the room is packed. People are standing in the back. So there is huge interest from Wall Street.
You'll be able to check out more of Kate's conversation with Matt Hogan in tomorrow's Crypto World show. Okay, let's talk about the top stories. Today, we are getting some idea as to when spot Ether ETFs could be available here in the U.S. In a budget hearing this morning, SEC Chair Gary Gensler told senators that he thinks the final approvals for these ETFs should be finished sometime over the course of this summer. Gensler also said the process has been going smoothly following the initial approval of filings from stock exchanges related to these products. He added that individual issuers are still working through the registration process. On May 23rd, the SEC approved a rule change that would pave the way for ETFs that buy and hold Ether. Specifically, the SEC approved VanEck's 19B4 filing for a spot Ether ETF, along with 7 others, including BlackRock and Fidelity. But the SEC still needs to greenlight each ETF's S1 filing to begin trading. The Ether ETF development came less than 6 months after the SEC approved spot Bitcoin ETFs, which have proven to be a big success for the industry. Next, sticking with the SEC, the agency reached a more than $4 billion civil settlement with Terraform Labs and its co-founder, Do Kwon. The development comes after the now bankrupt company and Do Kwon were found liable by a jury for defrauding crypto investors who lost an estimated $40 billion when the Terra USD and Luna tokens collapsed back in 2022. This proposed final
Womp
judgment
womp.
was filed yesterday in Manhattan federal court and notes that Terraform Labs and its former CEO have agreed to pay the SEC a combined more than $4.5 billion in disgorgement, prejudgment interest, and civil penalties. On top of that, the agreement would ban Do Kwon and Terraform Labs from engaging in crypto transactions. It would also prohibit Kwon from serving as an officer or director of any public company. In the court filing, the SEC said that the entry of this judgment would ensure the maximal return of funds to harmed investors and put Terraform out of business for good. The settlement must still be approved by the judge.
You know, you screwed a bunch of people over, so it's good. Damn.
Overseeing the case.
They raked him over the coals.
All right, back to markets for our main story. After the Fed announced its decision to hold its benchmark interest rate steady, I spoke with Grayscale's head of research, Zach Handel, about what the move means for crypto and what we can expect in the months to come. The Fed holding rates steady and projecting one rate cut this year. So looking beyond the short term, how do you expect that, coupled with the cool May CPI that we also saw this week, to weigh on the price of Bitcoin over the next few weeks, and why?
Yeah, this year has been a big debate about, will the Fed cut rates? When will they cut rates? While we didn't get a very clear-cut answer from Jay Powell this week, I think it is clear that they are on track to reduce rates, probably late this year, maybe the beginning part of next year. U.S. inflation is trending down. It's been trending down for quite some time, and we're getting further confirmation of that in the data. A quite cool core CPI print this week. Other central banks, like the European Central Bank, the Bank of Canada, the Fed's peers, have begun to cut rates. I think Fed rate cuts are just a matter of time. When the committee has full confidence that they can begin that process, they will get started. I think that's coming relatively soon. Bitcoin is a alternative money system, and it competes with the dollar, just like physical gold competes with the dollar. So Fed rate cuts should be a negative thing for the dollar and probably a positive for assets like Bitcoin.
What about for Bitcoin ETFs? So we're always looking at the way the CPI and the Fed decision weighs on the price of Bitcoin. Are your expectations different at all for, what the potential impact of the decision and the inflation data would mean for the flows, the Bitcoin ETF flows versus the price of Bitcoin itself?
Bitcoin is a major macro asset now, and traders that are moving around between currencies, bonds, equities, and commodities like Bitcoin are going to take into account these types of decisions. We could see that have some short-run effects on the Bitcoin ETF flows. Stepping back, though, I think what we are seeing is a second wave of demand for these products. We saw very large net inflows into the spot Bitcoin ETFs after they launched in January of this year. And that was probably investors that were eager to see these products come to the market and ready to buy essentially as soon as they were listed. For many other types of investors, many other types of institutions, these products will require a due diligence process and a fair amount of consideration for how these assets will fit into their portfolios. And then they can be onboarded, then they can be incorporated into individual investor portfolios. I think that's what we are seeing today, that sort of second wave of demand for the Bitcoin ETF products, as more and more firms have gotten comfortable with both the asset and the asset in this particular product structure. I think that is a very positive sign for where Bitcoin can head over the coming months and quarters. Now, other fundamentals are always going to matter. The outlook for Fed policy, the state of the U.S. economy, the election, potentially these are going to drive Bitcoin's price. But that steady inflow into the spot Bitcoin ETFs is a positive technical for the market, and something that I think skews the balance of risk towards higher prices rather than lower prices over the medium term.
With these ETFs and with new investors coming in, I think there are still a lot of investors still kind of deliberating on what exactly this asset is. And some are very comfortable saying, it is likely that it's going to be part of our portfolios one day, so I want to get in on it now. And some people are still kind of stumbling and saying, I want to understand exactly what this is. We've had this debate over the last few years. We will continue to over whether it's more of a store of value or a risk asset. So looking at the data this week and the decision, How big of a driver is that on Bitcoin prices at this point in time, given other catalysts in the market and other trends? We've talked so much about the Fed decision and the potential rate cuts. So how much does that weigh on Bitcoin price at this moment?
The macroeconomic factors are the primary driver of Bitcoin's price, at least over the shorter run. Bitcoin is a macro asset. It is an alternative money system that competes with the dollar. In the U.S. economy, we don't have a choice over what currency we use. We use the dollar for a store of value and for payments. But in international markets, investors and companies, importers, exporters have a choice in what types of currency they use. Bitcoin competes in that market. It competes with the dollar, the euro, the yen, and physical gold as a store of value and potentially as a means of payment. And so these are the primary drivers of Bitcoin's price today. Many investors will always, I think, have some hard time diversifying away from just U.S. dollar-based investments. Many investors just hold U.S. assets and don't diversify overseas into different currencies or into physical gold. So maybe we will always see that. We think it's a good idea to diversify a portfolio. We think the crypto asset class is an excellent diversification tool, and especially useful as other diversification strategies have failed to work in recent years. But sometimes it's an uphill battle with certain investors. I think now that we have the ETFs, many more investors are taking a look at the statistical properties of this asset class, thinking of how it can fit in a portfolio context, and making the decision that it makes sense to allocate some part of portfolio to Bitcoin.
When does Bitcoin retest its all-time highs from March, and what gets us there?
Well, I can't give you an exact date, of course, but I do think that we are on track to retest the all-time high. Probably sometime this summer would be a broad guess. What is that going to take? I think more of what we've been seeing to date. And the three big trends are, first, a Federal Reserve that is interested in lowering interest rates because inflation is coming down. Second, steady demand for the spot Bitcoin ETF products. And third is more favorable political trends for the asset class that may include additional regulatory approvals over the course of this year. I think all three of those things are driving the asset class forward. I don't see any major change in those trends today. So I do think that we can retest the all-time highs sometime over the course of this summer. How fast we get there is going to depend on some of the specifics, but we're in a bull market for crypto. I see no reason why that should change for the short term, and testing and taking out the all-time highs relatively soon is possible.
Okay, that's all for today.
Amazing. Shout out to CNBC Crypto World for that. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to end up jetting, unfortunately, because, like I said, my dog is not doing very well, and my wife's quite upset. So I'm going to go upstairs and spend some time with her. But let's recap things real quick. You guys can watch the videos, obviously, in the description after the fact on your own. All right, Bitcoin $67,084. We have Ethereum at $35.13. Solana looking at $148, just under 150. Not too bad. LTC at $79.79. Look at that. Nice. Caspa down 1.67% on the day, 16.5 cents. Uniswap $10.85. All right, let's see. Oh shit, I just closed out the Fear and Greed index. What am I doing? Fear and Greed, let's see, where are we at? Fear and Greed flashbang 74 for all you guys that are wondering, and everything else looks great. But again, appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys all have a good day. Obviously it is Friday. I am going to leave you guys with this. Please hit that like button. Appreciate you for hanging out. If you haven't subbed, please consider it, and I will catch you guys real soon. Peace.
I wanna hold on till I can't no more.
Have a happy and safe Friday, everybody. Let's go raid Miss Randy Hipper. She doesn't go live for about a half hour, but hang around. and have a good day. Peace, peace.
Eat shit, Gary.